So the other day, I was eating a cracker, and I put the cracker in my mouth, and I noticed that it immediately got kind of soggy. And I encourage you to do this at home. Get a cracker, put it in your mouth, let it sit there for a while. Notice what taste sensations you get too. Then do the same thing with like a piece of beef jerky, or a piece of candy bar, and a piece of candy bar. And you'll notice that all three of those things do different stuff in your mouth. A piece of beef jerky or a peanut or something else will stay pretty much the same in your mouth. A piece of chocolate, no matter if it's frozen or not, a cookie, a cracker, they all seem to kind of fall apart in your mouth. Well, the reason for that is because there's something in your mouth called an enzyme. Okay, and I'm going to use that example as we go here. This is not a very long session. First thing you need to know about enzymes is they're the organic compound. Remember, proteins are a type of organic compound called protein. They're a protein. Enzymes are made by cells. All of your cells have enzymes in them. The one we were just talking about is the enzyme in your mouth. So made by salivary glands in your mouth. Enzymes can be reused. They can be used over and over and over again to do the same task. What enzymes do is they lower the energy it takes to perform a chemical reaction. So they can make in your body, they can make chemical reactions happen up to 1,000,000 times faster. 1,000,000 times faster. Enzymes are specific to something called a substrate. In your mouth, when you eat, you take in molecules. If you remember from our organic compounds lab, molecules can be in chains. And specifically in your mouth, there's an enzyme that breaks down starch. Takes starch molecules, uses the addition of a water molecule. Remember, we call that hydrolysis. To break up starch into its individual pieces. Those individual pieces are simple sugars. If you hold the cracker in your mouth long enough, it'll start to taste like sugar. So the enzyme in your mouth is specific to starch, and it does a specific task. It breaks starch molecules apart into sugar molecules. Enzymes work by having what's called an active site, which fits exactly to the substrate. And I'll just make a quick sketch. So an enzyme might look like this. Okay? This part of the enzyme is called its active site. So if this is the enzyme amylase in your mouth, it would fit with a molecule that looks something like this, which could be starch. And so starch would fit right in there, and this enzyme would break the starch apart. It's also shown on this slide. I'm going to go back a minute. Here, the active site of the enzyme, you can't really see that, it's right there. So that, in very brief, is a description of enzymes. We'll be talking about these more in class.